Hey everyone, welcome to Humanity Chats. I cannot believe that we're starting with season 3. I mean, this thing started as a conversation when my book tour got canceled. Let me show you my book again. It's right behind me. Same Elephants by Margie March. Yes, the book came out in March 2020. Thanks to COVID, the book tour got canceled. And so since the first page of the book talks about the human oath, I decided, why don't we do stories about humans and just touch on the book? And, week after week, we had guest upon guest. We have talked about everything: xenophobia, racial inequities, the pandemic, COVID-19, education, seeing through others' lenses. We have, we talked about the elections, the census, everything under the sun. And season 3 is going to be amazing. We have guests. Rhonda Rawlings, who is our season opener, is going to talk about faith and perseverance. I cannot wait for y'all to meet Rhonda. She is a dynamite woman. She has a lot of positive energy. So I'm so glad that she's starting the year with us. Guys, every episode we talk about some issue that is going on. And so it would be wrong of me not to touch on what happened at the U.S. Capitol yesterday. It was heartbreaking. I could not believe it. Once upon a time, I visited the Capitol. I had to get my pass before getting in. And, I have so much respect for that institution. Walking in, seeing the Senate floor, it was just, I was in awe. And so yesterday when I saw the scenes on TV, I couldn't believe it. Let us continue to pray for America, because you know what? We're living in different worlds and people are seeing through different lenses. And so let's keep praying for America so that our country can come together and be united, so that we will be a world leader that everybody looks up to. Guys, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. Now, if you're here, let us know where you're watching from. Greenville, Spartanburg, Charlotte, wherever. This is going to be a great time with Rhonda. I cannot wait to bring her in. And you're going to have the opportunity to put comments for Rhonda to see. So, and another thing, share this with your network. If you're here on Facebook, hey, share. If you're a podcast listener, don't forget, we need that review, and we need for you to tell your friends about Humanity Chats. I am Margie, your host. We talk about everyday issues that impact humans. Hey, if you're on YouTube, don't forget, you can put it on your WhatsApp forum. You can share this, share. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to bring Rhonda in. Let's go. Hey, Rhonda.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. It is so good to you. My goodness, I love that outfit that you have on.
Thank you. I love bright colors. So I'm like, I have to wear something bright if I'm on Margie TV with one of the most joyful people that I know. So yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And viewers, thanks for joining us. If you're listening, hey, we're happy you're here. And if you're watching us, look at us smiling. God is good all the time.
Most
Today,
definitely.
yes. And Humanity Chats is available on YouTube, Facebook. We're on all the major podcasts. And so Share, share, share. Now, we are honored today to have Rhonda Rawlings from the upstate of South Carolina. Rhonda, before we get started, I have a question for you. Would you mind giving us three fun facts about Rhonda?
Okay. Margie didn't tell me this was going to happen, but certainly I will. I love that. I love that. Let's do it.
Yes, just give us three fun facts.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me.
No,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just
Three
leaving it up
fun
to you.
Facts. Let's see. Growing up, I wanted to marry Michael Jackson. I was madly in love with him. And then fast forward, I was living in California and I got an opportunity to be an extra in the video Remember the Time. And it was one of the most memorable moments of my life. I actually turned out being the stand-in for Iman. So I got to meet Michael and meet Iman, and it was just...
Oh, looks like we have an audio issue.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I just lost the last part of when you were the stand-in for Michael Jackson.
Oh, okay. Yep. I was a stand-in for Iman,
Iman.
the model who played the queen in the video. So it was one of the most memorable moments of my life. You know, I thank God for giving me so many memorable moments. So that's one fun fact. Let me see. Another fun fact is I've always wanted to do what I'm doing right now. I always wanted to be in entertainment and news. And so from the time I was a kid, that was my main goal. So I never had any doubt, never, went to college and kept switching majors. So I'm really living in my dream and I love it. Let's see. That's two fun facts. A third fun fact. I am a lover of old music, like really the classic soul music. I love Al Green. I love Marvin Gaye. I love Barry White because my parents were older. And so I got a lot of my musical tastes from them. So that is the music that I absolutely love the most. Al Green, Barry White. So, yep, that's three.
Wow, viewers, you've got to learn a little bit more about Rhonda that you didn't know. Now, just so you know where people are watching from, we have David watching from Greenville, South Carolina. Yes, we have Alma from, I think it's Virginia. When I don't have my glasses, sometimes I don't see. We have Mommy watching from Wisconsin.
Wow.
We have Connecticut. Oh my goodness. Yes. We have Spartanburg, South Carolina. Look, people are watching from everywhere. We have Anderson. We have Clemson. I guess the list is gonna go on and on. And we have Vic here. He loves that intro. Yes. Wow, Wanda, you got a lot of love. You got a lot of love here.
I so appreciate it.
Yes. But, before we get into everything, I would love to know what brought you to Greenville, South Carolina, of all places.
And people say that all the time because I'm from New York. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York, which is a town that is 4 miles right outside of New York City. I lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to school. I've lived in Los Angeles, California. And then my next stop was Greenville. So, I've always loved the South and I have family here. And, my son is an only child. And, I wanted him to grow up around, many cousins that are his age. And my ex-husband is the youngest of 9 children. So he has a ton of nieces and nephews, and Daniel has a ton of cousins. It's a great family, and it's just something that I wanted my son to experience. And I absolutely love the upstate. So here I am.
Well, that's wonderful. We're glad to have you here because, you bring so much to the table and your career. I mean, Viewers, listeners, we're talking about faith and perseverance with Rhonda Rawlings today, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about her career next. She is a very she's lived the life. She has interviewed celebrities, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, worked for people from all over. And so, can you give us a little bit more about your background in the entertainment industry?
Certainly. So, like I said before, growing up, I always wanted to work in entertainment, and I knew that I wanted to combine it with news. Um, and so, I was the kid that would have like the hairbrush and making pretend that I'm interviewing my mother or father or cousin or friend. I always had that in my mind. This is what I want to do. There was a newscaster, Sue Simmons, in New York, who was huge, and I'm like, gosh, I want to be like Sue Simmons. She's so amazing. And so then, I went to college. I went to Temple University. And the funny thing is, my mom used to always say, how are you going to, because I was pretty shy. My mom would always say, how are you going to be in this industry that you want to be in when you have to speak in front of so many people? And I really didn't know. I knew that I was terrified of speaking in front of crowds, but I also know now that when God puts a dream in your heart, he's going to do everything he can to get you to the point where you fulfill that dream. So I didn't know how to answer that question back then, but now I know that this was my destiny, and I can just thank God for everything that every opportunity that he's placed in my life. And so I went to Temple University. I majored in radio, television, and film. And so my goal, I knew, was I wanted to work in news and entertainment. So went through my 4 years at Temple, had an amazing opportunity, amazing time there, and learned so much. I did an internship my senior year with New Line Cinema, a film company, New Line Cinema. They did all the house party movies and things like that. And so after I did that internship and I graduated, they were working on a movie called Deep Cover out in Los Angeles. And Deep Cover starred Larry Fishburne. He still called himself Larry back then. Now you have to call him Lawrence. But Deep Cover was Larry Fishburne and I'm not thinking of Jeff Goldblum. And I can't think of the other gentleman's name, but so I worked on that film as what they call a production assistant. Clarence Williams III from the Mod Squad was in it as well. And so I worked on that film as a production assistant, which is just, making coffee, making copies, delivering scripts to the actors' homes. But it was a great experience, to be able to work on the set just out of college with those people, with Larry Fishburne, who was amazing, wealth of information. And so was Clarence Williams III. And so they just gave me a lot of insight into the industry. And after that movie was over, I got a job on a TV show called Rock, ROC. And that was with Charles Dutton. Amazing opportunity, brilliant actor. So many of the actors on that show are brilliant, and I still keep in touch with them to this day. Rocky Carroll, I believe, is on NCIS. And and some of my closest friends I met while working on that show for about three seasons. So when that show was over, I did different things. I worked on a show that Robert Townsend did. He had like a variety show, and it was all amazing, all great. While I was doing all that, working behind the scenes, I was also perfecting my craft. I would talk to the actors, let them know what I wanted to do. Asked anybody I could, can I interview you, and put it on camera so I could have friends, look at it and critique it, my interviewing style, how I looked on camera and all that. I went to a baseball game and met Dave Justice and asked him if I could interview him, and he agreed. Because one thing I believe is that you have to ask. All they can say is no. So don't let not asking stand in the way of an amazing opportunity. And so, lived in California for quite some time. And then I'm divorced now, but I met my to-be husband there, an amazing individual. And he actually is from South Carolina. He's from the Union area, West Springs area. And so when we left California, it's such a long journey. We moved to New York for a little while, and then to South Carolina. And so um, while I was doing all that, and as amazing as it was, I knew in the back of my mind, um, I'm doing this. It's great. It's an amazing opportunity, but I don't want to live my life with a what if. I know that I want to get into news. I know that I want to get into, me being the interviewer, combining news and entertainment. So when we moved to South Carolina, I saw a job opening for 1073 Jams. And it was an office position. And so I went in and I said, told them I would interview for the position. I didn't want to tell them that my goal was to be on air because I figured they would say, everyone wants to do that. So I didn't tell them that. But this is how God works. When he wants you to be somewhere, he will put you there. So I went in for an interview with Kelly Mack, and she was talking to her and she was like, oh, you know what? Can you write a story and then let me see how you sound on the air? And that was without me even mentioning it. So she said, take this news story, write it over in your own words. She put me in the studio and she said, you just press this button when you want to start, press this button when you're finished. And that's it. So I'm in the studio. I had never been in the studio around this board or anything, didn't know how to work all these things. So I'm like, I have to get this right on the first shot, because if I don't know how to stop and start and do all that. So wrote the story over, recorded it, called her back in. She said, hold on a minute. She called her boss, who became one of my major mentors, Steve Crumley. So she called her boss in. He listened to it. He's like, have you ever done this before? And I'm like, well, not professionally, but, I had been preparing for this for years with just the practice that I was doing. And so when it came time for me to be able to do it professionally, or when it came time for me to hit the go button, I was ready because I was preparing all those years. And they offered me the job on the spot. There was someone who was doing it at the time, and I was her, I guess you would call me her understudy. And then she eventually left, and I took over the position, and it was incredible. It was it is the most amazing employment experience that I've ever had, because it's allowed me to do so much, not just entertainment, but, really interacting with the community and getting out information, it's an amazing platform to give the community information that they may not know, whether it be employment, whether it be financial, whether it be educational. It's just a great platform.
Yeah, and I guess that also led to your work with Uplift Upstate. I cannot believe that we have only 10 minutes left and we have questions about highlights with your work at 1073 Jams. We want to talk about your faith. We want to talk about some of the challenges that you have encountered and how you persevered. And we want to talk about your show. We're going to run through it. I'm so sorry, but
so I'll just go ahead and do it, because I do want to let people know, when I tell them my story and when I tell them about how I'm living in my dream, I do want to let them know that it wasn't without obstacles along the way. But, first, to give you some of the highlights, I got to interview some of my idols on this show. Some people I admired so much. Which way should I go? This lady behind me, Maya Angelou, was one of my favorite interviews ever. That painting is done by Joey Within Arts, by the way. Please check out his Facebook page because he's an amazing, amazing artist. This guy named Cam Newton came to the Panthers, and I said, you know what? I want to do something different. Let me call the Panthers and see if I can interview Cam Newton. They said, come on down, and put me on their media list ever since. They took me to the Super Bowl when they went to the Super Bowl. So amazing highlights. Sugar Ray Leonard, like you said, Hillary Clinton. I did get to talk to Donald Trump. I got some sound bites from Donald Trump as well. Joe Biden, so many people, Kamala Harris. So I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but it's been an incredible experience. But like I said, the most amazing thing is to be able to have a platform to help the community. So and I know we don't have that much time left, but talking about faith and perseverance is very important to me, because people could look at the things I've done, or they look at the interviews I've had, awards and that type of thing. However, there was a time when I didn't even think I could get out of bed in the morning. I have an amazing son, Daniel, who's 21 years old right now. But my ex-husband and I had two children that passed away. I had a daughter, Jordan, who was born with multiple heart defects, and she only lived for 3 months. The doctors told us it was just something that happened. It's just rare. Try again. We lived with her in the hospital that whole time. She was beautiful and amazing. And to this day, it's hard for me to even say that Daniel is an only child, because I love my children that passed away just as much. So we tried again, and I had a son, Christopher. Once again, beautiful, beautiful baby. But he was born much too early, because I had something called incompetent cervix, which they didn't realize during the first pregnancy, even though my labor was so quick. So Christopher was born too early, stayed in the hospital for 6 months. We basically lived, in the hospital and through Ronald McDonald houses and that type of thing, and, ups and downs. But he didn't make it, and he passed away at 6 months. And for me, a person who felt like my faith was rock solid, my faith was shaken. I was angry with God. I wanted to ask him, why would you do this to me? I lost my mom when I was 17 years old. She was only born with one kidney, didn't know it, and then started having issues with that. So I lost my mom when I was a senior in high school. So really questioned God. Didn't go back to church. I was, one of those ones that really, there's something that says where two or more are gathered. I really took that to mean, if we pray, this is going to work out. And so I couldn't believe that I had to bury not one child, but two children. And so that was something that shook me to my core. And I have to say, it took me quite some time. And the thing that helped me was my faith, was the fact that, my parents had me study the Bible from a young age. I grew up in the church. Eventually I had to get up. And for those people who are going through something, because right now we are in a crisis of a time, the important thing is to have a support system. To have a support system of friends that will call you. And just, the other day, I lost a friend, and it was very devastating to me. And my friend Cynthia called me on the phone, and she knew I was upset, but she didn't really talk about that. She just talked about everything else. So sometimes it's important just to have someone there to just talk to you, even if it's not about that specific situation. And she ended up saying something that was so ridiculous and so funny that it just made me laugh. So really, really, really pay attention to the people that are around you, and make sure they're the type that can build you up, and that you have a shoulder to lean on. Pray without ceasing. Anytime, don't wait till nighttime to say, oh, let me say a prayer. Throughout the day, really build up a relationship with God. The Bible says, this word have I hid in my heart. And you really have to have that there for those times of trials and tribulations. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking sometimes when I talk about the situation, but you really have to have his word in your heart, because you can go through so many things in this world, and you need to know that you have that faith, that God will see you through. No matter what I went through, now I know I can talk to someone who has lost a child, and I can say, I know what you're going through, because I really do know what you're going through. No matter what type of loss it is. I lost my mom. So maybe God put me here to be a support system to other people, and I don't take that lightly. I wrote down something that says, every time you share a vulnerable side of yourself, you normalize it for someone else. So there may be someone out there who's suffering in silence and doesn't want to talk about what they've been through. They don't want to talk about their losses because they feel like nobody else can understand it. But if I'm speaking about what devastated me, I want someone to hear me so that they can know that they're not alone, and that they can know, even if they don't know me, if someone's listening right now and they don't know me, feel free to reach out to me in any way possible, and I will try to help you through, whatever you're going through. And if I can't help you through, I will try to get someone who can. Another thing is, you know, um, my pastor was on speed dial for me during that time. So it was just very important to me, because some days you might feel much better, and then other days you fall down into despair again. So really, really be intentional about the people that you have, in your life. So fight for yourself. When you're feeling down, fight. Um, it's hard. I know that, um, sometimes people feel like they can't, and they have to have something that they can reach up and grab onto. And I think that's why it's so important for us, um, to sort of be that conduit for people. Reach out and check on people, check on your neighbors. If you haven't seen your neighbor in a little while, give them a call. We have to be our brothers and our sisters keeper, because somebody might not have a support system like we have.
Wow, thank you so much, Rhonda. This is Humanity Chats, people. We get together, we talk about everyday issues that impact humans. Rhonda sharing her faith with us, her perseverance, how she overcame those challenges. That is amazing. Reach out, reach out. This is such a crucial time to reach out. There's so many unemployed. There are people that are sick. There are people that are missing their loved ones. There's hurt. There's hurt. There's hurt. There's racism. There's confusion. There's anger. Reach out, people. Reach out. Now, Rhonda, before we wrap up, we want to know about your show, Uplift Upstate. Could you please tell us about that, a little bit more about that?
Yes, definitely. So I left 1073 Jams full time. I'm still there part time, to work with Senator Cory Booker. And then when that was over, I had a little bit of time on my hands because I'm only working part time now. So I thought this is a perfect time to do something that I've wanted to do for so long. And my thing is, my favorite word, Margie, and I think you know this, my favorite word is joy. And I wanted to build a platform, because it's so heavy right now. I wanted to build a platform that when people, if you're like me, sometimes first thing when I wake up in the morning, I turn on social media. Not a good habit, but I do that. So I want Uplift Upstate to be something that someone can turn on and it makes them smile. It makes them laugh. It really, gives them inspiration. So great stories from around the upstate of amazing things that people are doing. So far, we've had so many people on Maranatha Farms, which is a Black-owned farm in Greenville. We've had Girl Up Greenville. We've done profiles on Janice Sheree, who is an amazing, amazing yoga instructor, but also a motivational person. And so the artist behind me who did my Angelo Joey Within Arts, we're going to profile him, and also Patro, who's another amazing artist, sometime during the month of January. So that's what it is. It is really just showcasing people who are doing great things, and really a platform of upliftment and to make you smile. So I really want to encourage you, if you're not already, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Uplift Upstate, also on YouTube, because we hope to bring many more inspiring stories to you. And we have some great giveaways to start off 2021. So make sure you're following us so you can be a part of that. We just gave away a pound cake from the Pound Cake Man, and just gift cards and just things that someone can receive in the mail that will make them smile.
Oh, that's great. I love giveaways. I'm definitely going to tune in. I already follow you on social media. And I tell you what, in the mornings when I see your posts, whether it be a little boy dancing or it just lifts me up. So thank you so much for doing that. Viewers, listeners, find Uplift Upstate. Follow Rhonda. She is the real deal.
Can I do one more thing before we end?
Yes.
So I really, really love supporting local businesses. So I try to put on as much local stuff as I could today. I'm wearing this. Can you see it? It's a
Yes, yes,
joy
I see
ring,
joy. Mhm.
and that is made by Willow and Poppy. You want to go follow their page. I'm wearing earrings that from Barbara Pickens. She does paparazzi jewelry. I have this book right here. It's the Shimmigrant. Guess who wrote it? Margie Marge. My lipstick is Caroline Goodman. It's Power Lips, and it's my absolute favorite. Put it on in the morning, it stays till night. Hey, Caroline. And the lip balm. This is a young lady, Lefty Leah, who is, I want to say she's 9. She's going to get upset with me if I got her age wrong. But she has her own lipstick brand. So, and I think that's it. Oh, my necklace is my friend Lisa Rowe. She sells jewelry. So I wanted to make sure to take the time, not to just spotlight myself, but to make sure that I shout out some of our local people that are doing such great things as well.
Well, that's awesome. You know, Caroline Goodman is actually coming on the show next week. So viewers, come watch Caroline, and we will make her talk about her products. And maybe I can grab a product from her this week, so I will have Miss Goodman's lipstick on for the show. You know, the lady who made your ring actually made a bracelet for me, Louise Fagan.
She's amazing.
Is amazing. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Spartanburg Nephrology Associates. Thank you. We love that. We love that sponsorship. Keep it coming. And next up, we have a guest. Her name is Dr. Sabrina Jackson. She is the people expert. She's from Detroit, and she's going to talk to us about resolutions. So I'm excited to talk to Dr. Sabrina. That's going to be amazing. And you know what? Thank you for watching. If you like this, subscribe to our YouTube, Margie TV. Follow us on Facebook. We're on all social media and our podcast. That is so important. So many people are finding us through that podcast all around the world, all these countries where people are reaching out, and it's amazing. So subscribe to that podcast. If you don't want to watch, you can just listen as you're walking, cooking, doing whatever. And give us a review if you like this. Thank you so much, Rhonda. There are so many comments from people. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we missed it. We had people saying amen. We had Margie, I think it's Mary. She remembers your parents.
Oh, I see you, Mary Harris.
Yes. Look, do you have a book that is on the way? Look, Rhonda will have a book soon. Don't you worry. We have so many comments. We have people loving on you. Oh, yes, she is amazingly strong, Caroline. That's our upcoming guest. Y'all come back and watch Caroline. She's our guest next week. And look at that, Loretta Diligeri. We have Caleb from YouTube. Look,
Awesome.
We could go on and on. It's a lot of love from you all. We have people from England, Christine, Faith and Perseverance. Thank you all for watching, Rhonda. Go follow Uplift Upstate. Rhonda is on social media. She will inspire you. Thank you for joining Humanity Chats. Next up, we have Dr. Sabrina Jackson. So stay on our Facebook page to listen to Dr. Sabrina's message on New Year's resolutions. She is a dynamite speaker as well. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Love you. And see you soon.
Keep going, guys.
Bye, y'all.